peace, love, and understanding on a great morning again, as the Creator has blessed me to rise again, even though I ain't really been asleep through this last night, but I did doze off a couple times, and the Creator saw fit to allow me to wake up and breathe that fresh breath of life and be awoke to the trials and tribulations of life, to once again to challenge myself to overcome all negative energy and adhere to positive energy, to be a conduit of some positive energy to motivate, stimulate, and instigate my breathing, my brothers and sisters to shine like the sun that's going to rise, and shine that light of understanding and positive energy. I'd like to share with us this morning a continuation of my words of originality, poems that I wrote. I just do a few today. I just want to somewhat this go on my intuition, or my intellect of what I have gathered through my understanding and my knowledge of being self-taught over the years. But before I get into that, I'll just start going to some of these poems. And I'd like to say good morning to my good brother, Warrior King, Brother Dante, and my matriarch, beautiful queen sister, priestess, oracle queen sister, Sharia, one of the most beautiful sisters that I know on the planet, besides Sister Kim, Sister Wanda, and Sister Other Kim, and all the other great sisters that are matriarchic queens that are the backbone and stand behind their men. Those spiritual warrior kings that be real men and stand up as men and be pay homage to these queens. And anyone that doesn't, then they're in the wrong realm. This is the realm of paying homage to these sisters who are the backbone for us, who give us guidance and give us nourishment. What's this doing right here? Okay, we got to stop that. Just slide a little bit. I want to get started. I want to get into this poem, and it's called When I Die. We got to think about death. It ain't all about life. Death is an intimate thing that's going to happen. But we got to be aware of that. We got to be where I belong. I apologize about that. I'm trying to and correctly deal with it. So anyway, it is called When I Die. When I die, allow me to have a smile on my face. Like my good friend Michael Dent. A lot of us know Michael Dent. He's a great man who was God sent. I don't like using the word God, so I'll say creator. And knew what it meant to be a man among men and treated everybody like the next of kin. And even though I haven't lived a life free of sin, if I had to do it all over again, send me back with that Michael Dent grin. Then I can say I lived a life full of sacrifice and never rolled the dice for the price of selling my soul, like some do for the glittering gold. You know, like the Boule, Uncle Thomas, you know Uncle Thomas on the Supreme Court, who are gatekeepers instead of light barriers. So nefarious. Yeah. I have to be. When I die, let it be said that I was mentally free and left a legacy of divine light that was given to me by the ancestors. The torch that they gave me took me on a spiritual flight and anointed me as a Christ, and instilled in me celestial insight. At what price? Just to love my people, to be honest, fair, caring, and truthful, with a solution always in mind of the pollution that was injected into our heart, mind, and souls in order for others to be and stay in control in this physical abode. When I die, let it be said that I carry my load in trying to uplift fallen humanity, overcoming the insanity placed among us by the insane, trying to maintain their control over people with soul, not wanting us to grow into the knowledge of who we are and where we come from, keeping us dumb, down, so that we succumb to their will to kill us off culturally, spiritually, and mentally, done so smoothly that we can't see it's intently arranged, with only our demise to be gained. Like Walking Dead, after listening to what they said. You remember the Dred Scott decision? Treating us always like we second-class citizens. But when I die, let it be said I fought against the division that kept us apart. But just like the ancient art of healing, our revolution was the Creator sent, the start of a total Nubian unification, and the building of an infrastructure within this demonic nation. Understanding this, they may put me on the list of the COINTELPRO, a branch of the Gestapo. And I know the CIA, NSA, NSC be listening to me. And they know I'm mentally free, and I will never believe the lies of the FBI acting as agent provocateurs or any of that alphabet clan. When I die, let it be said that my death was for the cause of the people. Only then will I rest in peace. The peace of me knowing that I lived and I died for a cause and not because. And that's what I live for. I live for us as a people to come together in unity, to understand that we need unity and peace among us. We got to stop committing crimes, black on black crime, killing each other, stealing from each other, robbing each other. If we don't commit crimes and police our own community, what do we need the slave catcher for? The so-called police. The slave catchers, that's what it is. It's a slave catcher. It didn't change. So if we do what we got to do as a people in morality, righteousness, and holiness, and do that, we can do that. It ain't that we can't do it. We've been programmed to, and it's by design, we've been programmed from kids looking at cartoons, cop and robbers, and all that. But those cartoons, they don't show those type of cartoons now. They show an unbalance in the cartoons and comedy now. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I ain't even got to say it, because all that's by design also. And the next one, I got to slow down. I'm kind of hype. I've been up all night, sort of. Let me breathe again. Yeah, got to relax, man. And, kind of bring that energy down. This next poem is called In the Midst of Confusion. Standing in the midst of confusion, as everybody around me be losing their sanity, calling my name, demanding of me what they say they granted me in 1773. And they say I would be insane not to fall for the tricks of how they treated me. I'm telling you, it's hardly weird as the people be running scared, as the Tea Party and the Blue Dogs. You hear me now? I said as the Tea Party and the Blue Dogs huddle in a puddle of deception. We just seen this election, which they can only understand. And you telling me Sarah Palin is back in demand only because she will be doing the bidding of the Masonic hand. As the Ku Klux Klan, IRS, FBI, and the Federal Reserve all merge with the rest of the alphabet men and the agent provocateurs to close the doors of truth, justice, and freedom, equality, like we be doing politics. And they be taking us for granted in the oath only they take in the fraternal order of the skulls and bones. You know, like who be doing politics just for kicks. None other than politicians who are on a demonic mission to continue to condition the mind control among then politicians. Among these with so-called no soul, because the Negro seems never to grow old, and they still be believing in the white Jesus on the walls of their homes. And you ask, is there anything wrong? As the NSA, CIA, NSC being your home, you're never left alone because they be listening to you, what you be saying on the telephone, and watching you on your digital flat screen. You know what I mean. After they have you in a behavior modification program, they offer you a job to be an informer. Like that's normal. What I was saying that about is like when you in the feds coming out now, the FBI give you a little lecture and you can join their crew when you come out. Some people take it, some people don't, and that's a fact. And that's special in the modification joint that they be in. That's a true fact. And let me continue. As I said, and you know what I mean, after they have you in the behavior modification programs, they offer you a job to be an informer, like that's normal. As robots become humanized and humans believe in all the lies that the alphabet meant, devised against your spiritual and mental demise. Yeah, that's right. Not being alive is what they offer you in your everyday life. A slave to pave the way for the New World Order. Americanized insanity in the midst of confusion. In the midst of confusion. Like what just happened in this election. But it's a game of wait and see because we don't know what's going to happen. They playing politics as usual, or is it going to be a democratic process? But we can't really say that with all these people we know. They don't even have education of knowledge in the area that they're going into. So it's very, very intriguing to see what's happening or going to happen. But I know we as a people, a race, a ethnic group, us, melanated, carbonated, black, whatever you want to call us, spiritual beings with melanin in them, the color scheme, we got to stand down and understand and just wait and see and observe to see what's going to happen in this arena or in this realm on this planet Earth, because it's a worldwide process. We heard him talking about getting rid of the RS. RS is not a government entity, nor is the Federal Reserve. These are private corporations, along with everything else, because America is a corporation of England. And it has carbonation within that. DC, London, and Rome. We got to do some studying so we know what's going on. So, and let me go into this next one. I always want to, somewhat give credence to our sisters. And I just want to give this short poem. It's called, I see my sister Oracle is watching. With much love, love supreme, priestess queen, warrior queen, Sister Rosie Hyde, Inky, up early, always good energy there, always love, a love supreme, bring manifestation to the dream and to reality. I want to go into this thing, and it's called My Soulmate. My soulmate has never been late, because I'm ready to believe in her no matter what, because she has caught my being by the spirit. Our journey has become one in essence, so it's become a blessing no matter what the outcome. We will run the gamut of life together to our ending, just as our beginning was ordained with nothing but surreal understanding, and overstanding to be gained. I will remain and maintain a love supreme like it's an exotic dream filled with lasting compassion. Because I have learned that this reality with her is sacred. That's why we make it from right now, this present moment, to the beginning of tomorrow, the start of our future destiny, blending with our right now, as our love continues to expand like the universe without ending, only descending into the black hole to become what it is, purity. As you grow nearer to me, merging into the essence of life with you as my eternal wife, purging ourselves of this physical world and standing on the verge of spiraling into the spiritual realm. The synergy that exists between us becomes magical, simulating into the essence of blissfulness. Now listen to this. The silence of life that you hear is our oneness. The one heartbeat, the one breath that you breathe is ours together. Your thoughts are what I think. The only way that we can get any closer is if I die. It will give you life, my life. My spiritual being will merge with your carnal being, and we will still be seeing each other, maintaining a love supreme, like it's an exotic dream. Can you feel what I mean? Like it's bioenergetic connecting. You and me, eternally, forever together. You are my soulmate, which was written on my divine slate by the hand of the Creator long ago. It was done long ago. I mean, before we was thought of or whatever. It's by a divine decree from our ancestors. And I want to say that, once again, we as a people, we got to unify, organize, and develop an infrastructure. We got to try to get back to the old ways of hospitality. Not in the 60s, but we got to go down south where that hospitality is rich and firm. We got to go black into the essence of our being and come together as a people and be seen not as individual, egotistic, and self-centered people. We got to come together collectively as one in love, peace, and understanding and helping one another, reaching out for each other, and overcoming the idiosyncrasies that have been inculcated in our being through education and indoctrination, and it's all by design. We talk about the pipeline to prison. We talk about dumbing down our children. We talk about all these things that we know that exist. But where's the source? The source is the fraudulent laws that run this country. The laws are fraudulent. We got to know that. They make laws to change laws to fit whatever they want to put into law or make a law or amend a law. And we got to understand that. And that's why we got to unify, organize, and develop an infrastructure. Within this infrastructure, within this political realm or spiritual realm, we got to do it from a spiritual aspect, going back to the blueprint or the schismatic that our ancestors left for us. And don't get caught up also in all the religions, even though they're good to give you guidance of righteousness. And when you practice them, whatever you practice, Islam, Christianity, Hebrewism, Judaism, but it's from a perspective of our roots as a people, as melanated, carbonated people, because the truth is etched in stone, not for perchance or haphazardly. It was done for a reason, for us to be in this season, to gain the understanding of the inner verse in this temple, where the spirit of the Creator is in, the chakra, energy points, and the kundalini. When it's activated, it'll give you enhanced knowledge of who you are. That's why it's written on the walls and the doors in ancient Kemet and Nubian. It say, know thyself, which is the first law of nature, besides self-preservation. But I just want to enhance this words of unity, organization, and development of an infrastructure as within our ethnic group as a people. The healing we have to do through the post and traumatic slave syndrome that we went through and been through. All that's a part of our DNA, but the stronger essence of our DNA is the divine script that's in our DNA. And once we understand that everything comes from within, the universe, the innerverse, to affect the universe. What comes from within is to affect the things that's outside of us. But we got to come together and unify. And don't be caught up in that syndrome of divide and conquer. Islam against Christianity, Christianity against Islam, the Hebrews against the conscious or Kemetic people, and they against, we got to come out of this thing that we better than each other and come together as one in unification. You can practice under your fig tree, under your sunshine or whatever, but we do it as a melanated people and the essence of oneness with unity, discipline. We got to stop being murderers of each other. We got to stop killing each other. We got to start loving each other, embracing each other as one in the unity of oneness. Because if we don't, we playing into the game that's being played on us and the politics that's being played on us. And we got to overcome that individually and holistically as a community. And I say this sincerely. We all got to work on ourselves because we all have idiosyncrasies, whatever they may be, but we can overcome them because we are righteous by nature. We are holy by nature. Within, spiritually, in the context of being a human being, we learn our behaviors, but naturally, we are at peace. Naturally, we are harmonious people, but we be programmed to be and act a certain way. So we got to deprogram ourselves and decode ourselves and get that negative energy and information out of us, that indoctrination that we went through the schooling system, which is institutionalized racism, because they don't teach us nothing about us. We don't go back to, we confined to 2016 years, and then like 400 and say 85 or 65 of those years we're in captivity. It was like going through a processing of being or manufacturing thing and being manufactured and stamped made in America. And when you made in America by all the Americanized ideologies and stuff like that, I mean capitalism and this and that, ain't nothing wrong with making money and getting money and being well off and all that. But when you do it as a individually, egotistically, and self-centeredly, and without the concern for the people around you, then that's when you're ego tripping. And that's what you've been programmed to do. You've been programmed to think about yourself. Look at all our athletes. Look at all our movie stars. Look at Oprah Winfrey. Look at Tyler Perry. Look at Michael Jordan. Look at all these people with all this money. So much more they can do with their money, with that money, even though it's theirs. And I know a lot of us say, oh, we did this and we did that and we got our money this way and we did it. You can do it. But maybe all of us can't do it. All of us ain't cut from that cloth, or all of us ain't pushed up on that pedestal like that. Some of it is by design. Some of it is for effort and all that, personal effort, which is good. But whatever it is, if it's from personal effort or manipulation or whatever to make people seem like the commercial, people I want to be like Mike. You cannot be like Mike. You have to be like yourself. But in being yourself, if you ascertain that wealth like that, share the wealth. Build stuff for the community, schools, or entrepreneur, or training, or whatever. You have enough money to do all that and still have money. Just like the guy that won that it was $1 billion lottery. They say he could have gave everybody $1 million and still been cool. Or let's say the Rothschild. They can give everybody $100 million and still be cool. So why do they not do that? They hoard the money. We don't want to be hoarders. That's what we be programmed to be, like individualistic. We're programmed that way in capitalism. Again, I say people, they put forth the effort to go to school and do this or play ball or do whatever. But how many millionaires we got that waste their money and do what? Like the great boxer, what's his name? Little brother to carry all the millions of dollars around. Brothers like him. I mean, and he makes statements about, I made this money. This is my money, which is true. Well, what is you going to do with it? It's fraudulent. I mean, it's fiat money anyway, a promissory note that exchange and all that. But the thing is, you ain't got to be egotistic. You got enough money to do whatever you want to do and still help so many people. If we help everybody, it won't be no homeless people. If we promote us being entrepreneurs and training our people and protecting our elders and our youth and giving them correct guidance, if we give them the blueprint of what our ancestors were here before us done to guide us, then we'll be better off as a people. That's what we got to do. We got to help each other. We can't be like under robot control. Can't sell our souls and become like Negro pens. We can't emulate other people or other cultures and go against our own culture. When you go against your nature, you'll see it, you'll feel it, you'll know it. Ah, man, I got to breathe again. Because sometimes, man, this feels so good to breathe this fresh air and be alive and share what you know, that we got to come together. And we got to come together as melanated people, and we got to heal. We got to heal because we've been through so much in the time that we've been here in the United Snakes of hypocrisy. Did I say United Snakes of hypocrisy? Well, I meant that it is the United States of America, which is a corporation. So that's why I say United Snakes of hypocrisy, because we don't know what they be doing, making a mockery of this thing that they call the Constitution or whatever. The games that they play, it's like the wizard in the Oz behind that curtain. And we know, or we should know, that America being a corporation of England and 13 families from the Rothschilds, DuPonts, Mellons, and Carnegies and all that control this thing along with the Vatican. And we got to know that D.C. is the excuse my stumbling, the military aspect of the Cabal nation. London is the financial aspect of the Cabal nation, and the Vatican is the religion aspect of that. We got to know what's going on, because if we don't, we'll be this swept up in the vacuum of the deception, of the quagmire that's set up for us. So we'll fall into their traps. We'll go to school. Here go for an instance. We'll go to school and get college degrees and all that. And then what we wind up? We wind up being in debt. They talk about Cuba and all that stuff about Cuba. But look what Cuba do. They send their doctors to get educated as doctors free. How much does it cost here? And when you come out, how much do you got to pay? That's why they pay doctors so much, so they can pay off their bill. They talk about Gaddafi. Look what Gaddafi did. Anybody got married in that country got $50,000, $25,000, new house and all that. And a lot of other things that they talk about, these people call them villains and tyrants and all that. But in America, even though America is so sweet, it's like an iron fist with a velvet glove. It's smooth. And the things that it do are so subtle that it shoot past you. The subliminal suggestion, the consumerism that they want you to be so you can always be in debt. Even just like this period of time that we're in now, we're supposed to be boycotting because of all the murders and the injustice that's been inflicted upon us as a people. And what we do, we don't boycott. We just go in and we keep doing the Black Fridays, and we spend all our money doing Thanksgiving, and now Christmas coming up, we're going to spend all this money. And it was told to us last year that we spend $1.3 trillion this during this period of time. Just think, if we hold that money back, spend it black or develop it, wouldn't they feel that? And that's what it's about, because money is their God. Even though it's a promissory note and a fiat note, it ain't real. It ain't got no minerals to back it up, like gold and silver. I don't know how young y'all are, but when in my young time, I remember that it said gold certificate or silver certificate on a dollar bill. It don't say that no more. So we got to understand the games that's being played with us, spiritually, mentally, and physically. So we got to exercise in all areas of our being. Spiritually is most important, first and most important, so that we can have a connection with nature and be in tune with nature, be in tune with the Creator. Because what did the Creator do? That breath of life He breathed into us. Excuse me for saying He, the Creator. She, He, whatever the essence of it be. Because I have a concept that whatever one calls the Creator, it is what it is. But it's only one essence of the Creator. It's only one Creator. Whatever you want to practice it. Don't be divided in our practice. Practice under your fig tree or your sunlight, because the sunlight is all over this universe. Or practice it in the air that you breathe, and that's everywhere. But it's only one. So you can say you're Muslim, you can say you're Christian, long as you don't get caught up in the divide and conquer methodology that they've been using ever since, that we do that. And we got to overcome that. That's the most important thing also. We got to overcome divide and conquer methodology that they use against us in the religions. We got to know that it's one Creator, one essence. And we are the essence. We are blessed to be here. We are the ones that started off all of this through the pygmy, from some little short brothers over in the interior of Akabu land, Nubian. Then went to Kemetic understanding and teaching. We got to know who we are, where we come from, and deal with that on that subject, in that light. And can't get caught up in being misled about his story or his lies about our story, and shortchange ourselves in the confinement of 2016 years, when this plan had been going on in existence for many years. They'll tell you stuff like the first essence of humanity came from Akabu land, and the skeleton remains of what they call a Lucy, they go back 1,000,000 years. So if that is so, and we got the pyramids and those things, and other the amulets in Mexico, and the indigenous and aborigines in Australia, and here in America, that was us. We got to go back into that knowledge of us and come up and know that everything come from us, by us. Every science, every law, and everything come from us, and it was plagiarized and stolen. Then we regurgitate what is originally ours by people that stole it, lied about it, and they developed his story through his lies. But it's our story and it's our glory. And not the ego trip about that. That's the natural. That's what it is. And that's what we got to know. We got to teach our children who we are. We got to teach and stop lying to our children about these unholy holidays. The significance of them is truly the reverse of them. From Halloween to Easter to Christmas to all of it. You got to flip that coin and know the real story behind them. That's for you to learn and study. Because we're all teachers and students. When I'm talking to you, I'm talking to myself. I'm listening to myself. And I know that naturally or instinctively, what I know is from my understanding, from my inner verse, from the chambers of the pyramid of my mind, from the Nile of information that I have gathered over my time being here, the revolutions around the sun, is what I've learned. And I learned a lot. I'm very insightful. I'm not ego tripping or none of that, because I'm a student. I'm a student teacher. And whatever I know is not mine. The truth that I know, I don't sell it. I speak it. I try to motivate, stimulate, and agitate so that we can uplift each other. And I believe that's why I'm here. I'm still searching, because it say, know thyself. And I'm still searching, because it's a lifetime process. But in that time and that space that I'm here, I don't want to be here for nothing. I want to leave a legacy. I want somebody to say, he said this to me, or he told me this, and it was correct. Or when I did it, or when I looked it up, it applied to me, and it helped me. And so I'm gonna give this what I learned. I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna learn more. I'm gonna add on to what I heard, and then I'm gonna give it to somebody else. And I want to thank everybody that's responding. All the beautiful queens and the strong kings, and I love y'all, because it's through love and understanding that we come together in the synergy and the energy of our ancestors, and by divine decree, we got to unify. I mean, not only through the talk, but through actions. You know, we got to just come together, because if we don't, we're going to continue to die off by our own hands through the murder of each other. But it's by design. We got to realize everything that's going on is by design. Through people with a corrupt mind that we've been under attack since we've been in connection or contact with them. And I ain't got to say who they are. We all know who they are, because it's evident who they are. And I'm not speaking from a racist point of view, because I'm not a racist. I am a race man. I love my people first and foremost. And I can love all, say, I can love mankind also, sort of. But I respect all humanity. I respect all life, but all life got to give respect in return. I know that our social ills come from being programmed, being taught a foreign culture, a foreign religion, and everything. Everything been taken from us, the ones over here, and we've been programmed to think a certain way, to act a certain way, out of our nature. And that's not by chance. That's by a pre-programmed ideology and methodology of, I'll say this, of white supremacy, Neanderthal cognitive dissonant type mentality, that from the top to the bottom, it comes from the top, and the top manipulates everything down to the bottom. The bottom, I'm talking about the layman, because we all equal. We all equal as human beings. We all come in the world with nothing, but some of us, we climb that social ladder however we do it. But some people got, like they say, a silver spoon in their mouth because of generational wealth. Wealth that was passed down from family to family and family. See, we couldn't do that because we haven't been in a position to be of those that can receive that type of generosity from our family members. But some of us become financially free by, ascertaining being millionaires, or some of us become billionaires and this and that. But what do we do with the money? Do we make movies, or do we buy radio frequencies so we can give the truth out? Why don't we make more movies depicting the truth about history, about our story? If we know our story is not a mystery, why do we live it as though it is a mystery? Why can't we have more movies with more in-depth things like Nat Turner? Why can't we have movies about Queen Azinga? Why can't we have movies about Tucson Overture? Why can't we do that? We have enough money. We have enough of us to have money. We ain't got to depend on like the Oscars. I seen a thing that they had a black, somewhat like an Oscar somewhere down in Atlanta, that I think the Black Power movement or the RGB, whatever they want to call it, they did it. I think that was a great idea. It was about black people, awarding black people for their creativity and all that. Why do we got to go to, let's say, a European? Why do they have to validate us? Why do they have to validate our creativity, our knowledge, or anything? We don't need that no more. Unify, organize, and develop an infrastructure. That's all we got to do. We can live together. We can get more. We can develop Wall Streets again. But we just got to defend it. We can't get caught up in this racism and this sicknesses with these Europeans that don't know no better. They've been programmed too. My man, what is his name? George McCall, get Obama. It's a social narcotics. Social narcotics that's injected into the minds, hearts, and bodies of everybody, even the European. Because we know we got them country Europeans from up in the hills and way back in Mississippi and all that. They think this term white and black. See, that's a term that came out in the 1800s and stuff. They didn't used to be called white, and we wasn't called black. Of course, you know that. They used to call us niggers, but niggers is what they used to be because we did the work. And the definition of a nigger is what? Lazy and shiftless. How could that apply to us when we did the work in the fields from sun up to sundown? So I don't adhere to that, and nobody can validate me, no matter who they are. The leadership, people in leadership don't use the N-word. Well, the N-word don't apply to me. It applied to those that was lazy. And it wasn't definitely not my ancestors. Because our ancestors were whipped to work day in, day out without pay. For how many years? About 400 something years, 300 something years. And they sat on the porch in the shade drinking lemonade. So we can't let people validate us. And we got to be strong in our efforts and our development of our culture, understanding. We got to teach our children the truth about who they are. Not only are they kings and queens, we just spiritual people. We're people in harmony with nature. We people in harmony with each other. And we got to overcome all our idiosyncrasies and overcome all the methodologies of divide and conquer, all the Willie Lynch stuff and all that, man. We know all this stuff. We in a realm now, or a time now, that we know all this information at the push of a button from the phone or from the laptop. Instead of playing games and all this all the time and all that dumb stuff about fighting and all that. See, that's what they want us to do. That's what they want to show the world. So like when they shoot us down like we animals and shoot us in the back and say he was scared for his life when somebody was running from him and they shoot him in the back 7 times, then they show you throwing the gun on him or the phaser and all that or whatever he did. And he walks out of court because it's a mentality that's in there. That's part of this white privilege, white supremacist attitude. That's a sickness. It's a social narcotics, like the Bama said, the ghetto poet, the village poet. Him, the last poets, and Gil Scott Hearn were my first mentors. of the spoken word. We got a lot of good brothers now that do the spoken word and all that. It ain't entertainment, it's education. That's what it's supposed to be. Poetry is a form of education, stimulation, motivation, and agitation. That's what the arts are about, our creativity, to uplift the people, to uplift fallen humanity, because we are the humanity that has failed, but by design, not by our own. We came over here and we was over here, and see, we got to learn all this story correctly. All people didn't come from Africa here as slaves. Most of the slaves that came from Africa, they was dropped off in the islands, South America, and a few got here, a lot got here, but it's not as many as they said. We were already here. What they call the Indians, we were that. The Aborigine and Indigenous. Just look at the Amalek statues down in Mexico. Those big round heads, that was us in Mexico a long, long time ago. You know about California? You know Queen California? There's a sister, Amazon warriors in California, long time before Columbus got here. We got to read Brother Ivan Van Sertima. He tells us that 500 years before Columbus got here, we was over here. We got to know that Mansa Musa, 2,000 of people from west coast of Africa came over here, didn't never return. But time before that, we was already here. We got to know our story so that we can teach the truth, the light, the understanding. So we can stand up with much more pride and much more, not being prideful, but we need to have that self-esteem and know who we are, so we can give our children that self-esteem. And what they promoting on TV now, all this unnatural stuff in the cartoons. I don't know how young y'all are, but I'm very young. When we used to look at cartoons, look at Mickey Mouse and Minnie and all that, it was like, man, look at Minnie and stuff like that. And now it's Michael and Michael. It ain't right. It's unnatural. And even in the comedy, the TV com sets, what they showing now, it wasn't like that. We had Red Fox and all that on TV. Now we don't have that. What we got? I ain't even got to speak on that. But it's against nature, and we got to stay in accord with nature. I'm not going to keep on talking. I hope I said something that benefited somebody, because it benefited me. Because that's the part about just breathing that air as a creator, the breath of life. That's a benefit to me. And my benefit to me is a benefit to you, because I'm here to uplift you. When I uplift me, I'm here to serve the Lord. And the way I serve the Lord is to serve the people in any way I can. Word, action, and deeds. If I can't do it in action, I'll do it in words. If I can't do it in words, I'll do it in deeds. Because I'm here as a spiritual warrior, mystical warrior, warrior, priest, king, and a Mr. Griot. And I love my people. And I don't know how long I'm going to be here. It doesn't matter, because I know I'm going to go to the next realm anyway. And I know as a carbonated person, a melanated person in my skin, in my hue, carbonated because it's energy. The 666, energy never dies. So I am energy, spiritual energy from the Lord. So whenever I go to the next realm or dimension, willingly, I know I'm gonna go naturally, but I want to reach that level through my energy, my spiritual energy, and the Creator just allow me to be able to transmute, go and come back through my astral traveling and whatever by my own discernment, because it should be possible. I believe it is, and that's what I'm here. I'm trying to ascertain that level of consciousness and spirituality as a melanated human being. And I always gotta go to my melanated brother and talk about carbon, but he gotta look up Layla Africa. I've been looking that up, trying to get a context. I heard what Dr. Sabi said, and I heard about what this other brother said, but melanin to me is the essence of our protection from the sun. Carbon is the energy that never dies, the 666, the mark of the beast, so they say, but it's not the mark of the beast. And that's another thing. Everything that they say, we got to turn it back around, because the essence, they make it bad. They make voodoo bad. Voodoo, when we used it, we was healing people. Everything that they say is evil, we got to turn it around, and everything they say is good, we got to turn it around. We can live good, but let's share the wealth. Let's help each other to become entrepreneurs, wherever we be. We start with ourselves first, our households, then the community, then the nation, the states or whatever, then the world. Because there's a world. They trying to develop a new world order through new world chaos and confusion. But we got to deal with a new world order within ourselves and come together as humanity. Humanity. Spiritual and essence. Mentally, blessings. Physical, the essence that's, man. We are divine people with a divine mind. We got to find the time to develop all that in the essence of our being. Because it's a war going on. The war is with yourself first, to overcome your idiosyncrasies, because we all have them. We're not perfect. When we fight against ourselves, we can develop that harmony and peace within ourselves, and then in that love and understanding of ourselves towards ourselves, then it spreads out. The understanding becomes understanding and overstanding. The universe becomes part of the universe. Everything starts within and comes out. That breath of life. We're blessed to be here. Let's be here and do something. I just want to say thanks to everybody that helped me in my life, in the past and the present. I want to say thanks to everybody wherever they're at in the country, on this planet. We got to come together, unify and organize economically, spiritually. We got to do this. The time is now. And we keep saying this. The time is now. The time is now. The time been now. And for me, there's no more New Year resolutions. The rest of my life is solutions. And every day is Black history, African history. Every day, not no February, not no month, no Black History Month. Every day is our story, because that's how long it will take to tell our story, tell the truth, to overcome the lies and the distortions of our story from his lies. So with that, I say love, peace, and understanding. And I'm going to say Black power. I'm going to say human power. I'm going to say we got to work together. And those with the John Brown mentality, peace to y'all. Y'all with that racist stuff, that Ku Klux Klan mentality, oh man, I say power to the people. I don't say that in hostility. I say that in, you got to change your mentality in order to change your reality. Because if you don't, it may come your fatality in a kind, generous way, naturally. Because what? The sun is on our side. Y'all have a great day. Love somebody. Tell somebody you love them. Hug them, kiss them, motivate them, stimulate them, agitate them to become better. Let's stop all this crime. Let's stop killing each other. Let's be our own police. Let's police our own community. So the slave catchers don't have to be in our community. We know our young brothers doing certain things and all that, we can reach our brothers. We can go talk to them brothers and let them see the truth of themselves. Let them see that light that's in themselves. Let them see that they're warriors. Let them see that they can have the same discipline that the nation has, that the churches have, that all these entities, religious entities, what they call them, Jehovah Witnesses. They behind the doors. They be in the street, but they disciplined too. They be doing things behind them doors. All of them 7-day Adventists and all that. But we got to come together because of what? That melanin. That melanin, and that's a natural way of life for us. Anyway, again, I'll end and say peace, love, and understanding for us as a people. It's our time to rise holistically, economically, and spiritually, mentally, and physically, because there's a war going on. See y'all maybe tomorrow, if the Lord give me that refreshing next breath of life. Thank y'all. Have a great one. Blessed day. God-given day. Oh, the sun is up now. Tell you, it's awesome. Have a great day. Be safe. Stay strong. Motivate, stimulate, and agitate. All in love.